We've all been there, at that point where we feel something is holding us back, something invisible that stops us from moving forward. Maybe you've felt it in your job, your relationships, or even in your biggest dreams. These personal limitations, though sometimes unclear, are always present, dictating the rhythm of our lives. But have you ever stopped to think about where these barriers come from? Are they truly as insurmountable as they seem? Personal limitations aren't always obvious or easy to identify. They can stem from deep fears, limiting beliefs, past experiences that left a mark, or even expectations we unconsciously impose on ourselves. Sometimes, limitations come from the outside, others' opinions, criticism, or societal norms dictating what is possible. But often, the greatest obstacles, the ones that limit us the most, are inside us. It's that inner voice saying, "I can't, I'm not capable, I'm not good enough." Today, we'll explore these limitations, face them head-on without fear. We'll understand how they arise, how they affect us, and most importantly, how we can overcome them. Because, while they may seem like insurmountable obstacles, they can be transformed into stepping stones for personal growth. At their core, it's not circumstances that limit us, but how we respond to them. So, if you've ever felt held back, stay with us. Together, we'll discover how to turn these limitations into opportunities. It's not about eliminating everything that holds us back, but about changing our perspective and learning to move forward, even when uncertainty feels overwhelming. Every day, we face challenges that seem too big to handle. Those small and large obstacles that appear along the way, those moments when we believe we can't go on, or when we feel that what we're striving for is simply out of reach. Limitations in daily life come in many forms. Fear of failure, limiting beliefs, others' expectations, and even the doubts we have about ourselves. But what if I told you that these very limitations could hold the key to your personal growth? Overcoming limitations isn't just about powering through. It's a process of transformation, a change in how we perceive and respond to life's challenges. Every time you overcome a barrier, whether emotional, mental, or even physical, you're building a new version of yourself. You're expanding your boundaries and proving to yourself what you're truly capable of. And the most incredible part is that it's not about achieving unattainable perfection, but learning to adapt and grow with every experience. Overcoming limitations is essential because it frees us. It liberates us from the invisible chains that keep us in the comfort zone, a zone where we believe we're safe but are, in fact, stuck. When you break through a limitation, you give yourself permission to act, to try, to make mistakes, and most importantly, to improve. This not only changes what you can achieve, but also how you see yourself. It gives you a new perspective on what's possible, what you can create, and who you can become. In those moments of triumph, you find a strength you didn't even know you had. Every step forward, every time you face a fear or internal doubt and decide not to stay still, allows you to go beyond your own limits. That ability to overcome what once seemed impossible doesn't just transform your life, it also inspires others to do the same. So, if you feel like something is holding you back, like your limitations are beyond what you can handle, remember that those are the opportunities calling you to be more, to go further, to break the barriers you've set for yourself. Overcoming those limitations is what allows you to live a limitless life. We've all felt at some point that something is stopping us, those invisible barriers that seem to hold back our dreams and ambitions. These personal limitations, those internal voices saying, "You can't," "You're not enough," or "It's not for you," are all too familiar. But what are these limitations really? And more importantly, where do they come from? Personal limitations don't just appear out of nowhere. They have deep roots and influences stemming from what we've lived, how we were raised, and the experiences that shaped us. These limitations are beliefs and thoughts we have about ourselves, about what we're capable of achieving, based on what we've learned throughout our lives. And the interesting thing is that these limitations aren't absolute realities. They're just perceptions, mental constructs that, over time, we take as truths. These limiting beliefs can arise from many sources. Often, they originate in childhood, from things we repeatedly heard, whether from parents, teachers, friends, or even society. Phrases like, "That's not for you," or "You don't have what it takes," can become ingrained in our minds, creating an invisible wall that prevents us from trying new things or going beyond what we know. But limitations can also stem from past experiences. Perhaps you tried something and failed, and that failure left a mark. These unresolved experiences turn into mental blocks that keep us from moving forward. They tell us not to try again, that we're not ready, or that we don't have what it takes to succeed. Comparisons are another major source of personal limitations. We live in a world that constantly invites us to measure ourselves against others, through social media, at work, or in our personal lives. When we compare our lives to those of others, it's easy to fall into the trap of feeling like we don't measure up, that we'll never reach where others are. This, in turn, generates insecurities that limit our actions. And finally, there's fear. Fear is one of the most powerful causes of personal limitations, the fear of failure, rejection, or even success itself. This fear paralyzes us, stops us from taking risks, and keeps us trapped in a comfort zone that, while seemingly safe, doesn't allow us to grow or move forward. Understanding what personal limitations really are and where they come from is the first step toward overcoming them. By recognizing that these barriers aren't unbreakable but rather mental constructs based on past experiences, we can begin to challenge them. And with every challenge, we start tearing down those invisible walls, paving the way for a fuller, limitless life. Sometimes we feel stuck, as if something is stopping us from moving forward. But have you ever stopped to think if what's holding you back comes from within you or if it's something external? The limitations we face in life aren't always what they seem. There's a significant difference between self-imposed and external limitations, and understanding this difference can be the key to unlocking your true potential. External limitations are those that come from the world around us. These are visible barriers, rules, or circumstances that we can't directly control. They might be a lack of resources, societal expectations, limited opportunities, or even the opinions and judgments of others. These limitations exist outside of us. They're realities that affect us but aren't always changeable in the short term. For example, you can't immediately alter a country's economic situation or your family history, but you can learn to navigate these difficulties and find ways to move forward despite them. On the other hand, self-imposed limitations are entirely different. These are the beliefs, fears, and doubts we create within ourselves. They're the limitations we impose due to fear of failure, lack of confidence, or the belief that we're not good enough. Maybe you've tried something before and failed, and since then, you've told yourself that you'll never succeed. Or perhaps you've been so concerned about what others might think that you've paralyzed yourself before even trying. These limitations don't come from the outside. They stem from how we interpret the world and how we see ourselves. The powerful thing about understanding the difference between these two types of limitations is recognizing that while external limitations can be challenging to overcome, they're often out of our control. They may change with time, or we may learn to adapt to them. But self-imposed limitations, those are the ones we can control. These are the ones we can challenge, change, and overcome with the right mindset. They exist only in our minds, and by changing them, we can change our reality. The key is identifying which limitations are within your control. When you face an external barrier, instead of feeling defeated, ask yourself, how can I adapt and move forward despite this? And when you encounter your own self-imposed limitations, the challenge is even greater. That's when you ask yourself, why do I believe I can't? Once you understand the root of that belief, you're on your way to transforming it. Limitations don't have to be permanent. Some are temporary, and others are within you, waiting to be conquered. By taking control of your mind and your beliefs, you can overcome many of the barriers that once seemed insurmountable. Are you ready to challenge what you think limits you and discover what you're truly capable of achieving? Imagine that each day is an opportunity to discover what truly limits you and to start breaking free from those invisible chains. We all have thoughts, beliefs, or habits that hold us back, but sometimes we don't recognize them because they've become part of our daily routines. The good news is that with consistent practice, you can identify those limitations and, most importantly, free yourself from them. Let's explore some daily practices you can incorporate into your life to start dismantling those internal barriers. The first step is to observe your thoughts. At first, this might seem simple, but with the hustle and bustle of daily life, our thoughts often go unnoticed. Take a moment each morning or evening to reflect on what you're truly thinking. What thoughts repeat themselves over and over? What phrases do you tell yourself without realizing it? If you find recurring negative thoughts like, I'm not good enough, or this isn't for me, you're identifying self-imposed limitations. These thoughts act like foggy windows, preventing you from seeing the full picture of your capabilities. The first step to breaking free from them is becoming aware of their existence. The next crucial step is to challenge those thoughts. If you constantly tell yourself that you can't achieve something, ask, Where does this idea come from? Is it absolutely true, or is it a belief I've accepted without questioning? This can be done at any time of the day, especially when you face a challenge or a task that makes you feel insecure. Every time you confront an internal limitation, counter it with a positive affirmation that reminds you of your capacity to learn, grow, and adapt. It's not about ignoring difficulties, but about choosing how to respond to them, and that changes everything. Another powerful practice is daily action. It's not enough to think about what you want to achieve. You need to take small steps every day. These steps may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they add up. Each action you take, no matter how small, demonstrates to your mind that limitations aren't real. Afraid of public speaking? Start by practicing in front of a mirror or with a friend. Doubting your ability to start a new project? Begin with one small task that brings you closer to your goal. The key is consistency, allowing yourself to move forward even when the results aren't immediate. Gratitude is another fundamental tool. Often, our personal limitations stem from constant comparison to others, thinking we'll never have enough or be good enough. Practicing gratitude daily shifts this mindset. When you pause to appreciate what you have, your accomplishments, your progress, and even the challenges you've overcome, you're changing how you see yourself. Gratitude allows you to let go of limitations rooted in fear and scarcity, making space for a mindset of abundance and growth. Finally, it's essential to surround yourself with the right people. Sometimes, the limitations we face don't come from within us, but from the environments and people we interact with. Surround yourself with individuals who support you, challenge your limiting beliefs, and encourage your growth. Seek mentors, peers, or even communities that share your vision of growth and self-improvement. Conversations with these people can be the catalyst for letting go of beliefs that hold you back. By incorporating these practices into your daily life, you'll begin to notice how those once formidable limitations start to fade. Identifying and releasing personal limitations isn't something that happens overnight, but with dedication and persistence, change becomes inevitable. Every time you challenge yourself and release a limiting belief, you'll take a step toward a freer and more powerful version of yourself. Are you ready to begin this journey today? Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath, feel the air filling your lungs, and exhale slowly. In this space of calm, you begin to connect with something deeper within you. That feeling of clarity, of openness, is what happens when you take the time to explore your inner world. Self-exploration is not just a technique, it's a path that allows you to discover more about who you truly are, what you want, and how you can free yourself from the limitations that hold you back. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools to begin this process. If you've ever felt lost or confused, meditation gives you the opportunity to quiet the external noise and focus on what truly matters. At first, it may seem challenging, but with practice, you'll start to notice greater calm and clarity in your mind. Think of meditation as a way to observe your thoughts without judging them. What arises in your mind? What patterns repeat? By allowing yourself to be present in this moment without holding on to any thought, you can begin to understand the beliefs that limit you and the emotions that guide you. Meditation allows you to see things as they are, without the distortion of your fears or insecurities. The next powerful technique for self-exploration is journaling. Writing is a way to put into words what is often buried deep within you, even if you don't realize it. Journaling invites you to reflect on your thoughts, dreams, and deepest desires. By writing, you can discover things you didn't know you felt or thought. Ask yourself, what do I really want? What is holding me back? What do I want to achieve in my life? These questions can be the keys to unlocking the door to your true passions. Don't worry about perfection, just write whatever comes out. Over time, your words will reveal patterns, help you understand yourself better, and guide you toward a life more aligned with your purpose. Then there's visualization, a powerful technique that can turn your desires into realities. Visualizing is not just daydreaming. It's a mental exercise where you imagine your life exactly as you want it to be, with as many details as possible. If you've ever daydreamed about achieving something great, that's the foundation of visualization. But what truly makes a difference is doing it consciously and with intention. Visualize your goals as if they are already accomplished. Feel the emotion of having achieved your objectives, of living the life you desire. Visualization allows you to program your mind for success, helping you believe in what once seemed unreachable. By doing this regularly, you begin to align with those goals, acting with more confidence and motivation. The beauty of these techniques is that they complement each other. Meditation gives you the space to connect with your inner self, journaling helps you put into words what you discover, and visualization prepares you to act with confidence. Together, they provide a deeper understanding of yourself, allowing you to overcome barriers and limitations that once seemed unbreakable. Start today. Spend a few minutes meditating, write in your journal whatever comes from within, and visualize your life as you want it to be. Don't underestimate the power of these small daily actions. Over time, you'll discover that you have everything you need to create the life you truly want. Imagine for a moment that every challenge in your life is an opportunity to know yourself better, to discover the beliefs that limit you, and most importantly, to free yourself from them. It all begins with the right questions. Questions that may seem simple at first, but have the power to open doors within you. Questions that invite you to look beyond what you see and truly understand why you act the way you do. Take a moment, close your eyes, and reflect. What do I truly want to achieve in life? What is holding me back? What does my inner voice say when I face a challenge? These questions are not just for making a list of desires. They are a deep exercise to understand your motivations, fears, and the beliefs that guide you, often without you realizing it. If you've ever stopped before acting out of fear of failure, or convinced yourself that you're not good enough, those are signs of limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs are like invisible chains that keep you from moving forward, even though you can't see them. Start by asking yourself, where do these beliefs come from? Are they really yours, or have you adopted them from others, from your environment, or past experiences? Reflecting on this is crucial, because once you realize these beliefs aren't true, you begin to dismantle them, step by step. The next powerful exercise is analyzing your limiting beliefs. Take time each day to identify those thoughts that hold you back. Do it like a detective of your mind. What stories do you tell yourself? What fears tell you that you're not enough? The simple act of writing down those beliefs is the first step in changing them. Then, challenge them. If you think, I'm not good at public speaking, ask yourself, is that really true? What evidence do I have to prove the opposite? Each time you challenge those beliefs, you'll be strengthening your confidence in what you are truly capable of achieving. This analysis is not just introspective, it's liberating. It's like breaking down a concrete wall with every positive thought you replace. Now, growth doesn't happen in isolation. We all need guidance and support. This is where mentors come in. Mentors are not just authority figures. They are those who have already walked the path you wish to walk. They offer valuable perspectives, practical advice, and most importantly, show you that what seems unattainable is possible. Seeking a mentor is an intentional action. It's not just about finding someone to give you answers, but surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to think differently, who inspire you to do what you thought you couldn't do. And no matter which area you seek growth in, a mentor can open your eyes to new opportunities and new ways of thinking. When you combine these three exercises, asking reflective questions, analyzing your limiting beliefs, and seeking mentors to guide you, you create a circle of constant growth. Each step you take brings you closer to the person you want to be and the life you wish to build. Remember that there are no limits, only beliefs you need to challenge and overcome. Start today, take that first step, and you'll see how everything begins to align in unexpected ways. You've taken a great step by starting to identify and challenge the limitations that have held you back. The journey toward personal freedom, toward eliminating those mental and emotional barriers, is not easy, but the most important thing is that now you know it's possible. Every limiting belief you dismantle, every step you take toward a more powerful mindset, brings you closer to the most authentic and capable version of yourself. Remember, this process is continuous. There are no shortcuts, but there is an immense reward at the end. The small changes you make every day, like questioning your fears, reprogramming your mind, and surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, will make all the difference. And the best part is, you're not alone on this journey. If this video resonated with you and helped bring clarity on how to eliminate limitations in your life, don't forget to like it. If you're ready to keep growing, to break through barriers, and reach new goals, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any content that will help you become better every day. I'm excited for what you're going to achieve. See you in the next video.